Hi leaders, want to talk to you today about how to sign a leader, how to sign a runner. And if you don't know what I mean by the term runner, I mean the people that join your team and take off. They join us and they're ready to work a business. They think of it like a business, not like a job. And they're the ones that don't need hand holding. They can grow their businesses on their own. They know how to talk to people, they know how to engage, they know how to network, and they don't have fear and hold back. And wouldn't it be amazing if every single person that we signed was a runner, was a true leader, was an entrepreneur? And so today I want to talk to you about how to find those people, how to find the ones that are going to be, that are going to change your business, that are going to make things easier, that we're not pulling people along anymore, but we have runners on our team. So let me talk to you for just a second about the difference. How do you find a runner? How do you spot one out in public or in your community? And so let me talk about the differences. Runners are typically those that are, they have the entrepreneur mentality. Maybe they're already a business owner, maybe they're not, but maybe you've heard them talking about starting a business, or they're already very successful in a business that they have started, or they're one of the top producing, maybe they're at the top of a managerial position or a CEO or something like that. They have that go-getter attitude. They also have a large network. Maybe it's a big group of friends. Maybe they have a professional network they've already developed, but they always are surrounded by a lot of people. They're also the people that you want to be around. They're optimistic, they're positive, they have good energy, and they influence other people. They're an influencer. They have this vibe about them that when you're around them, they inspire you to do something differently. Those are typically the runners in this business, the ones that you're attracted to, that people are attracted to. They're doing well in their profession, or they've started a business before. They have that mentality. And then on the flip side, there's those others that are not runners. They don't join your business and take off. They want to be handheld. They need encouragement every single day. You have to go to them to ask them how they're doing. You have to ask them questions. They're the ones that need somebody to kind of push them along. Those people, if you're looking at a group of people and you're trying to spot the ones that are good to approach about the business, they're typically the people in a crowd that are going to be complaining. They're going to be negative. They are probably, they may be out of work. They may be unmotivated. They kind of pull you down. They kind of weigh you down when you're around them. Those are kind of the people that if you sign them, they are going to need somebody that's their cheerleader and is going to need to push them along. And yet, you're going to find some runners possibly in that other category, in that other group that maybe didn't realize, it was untapped potential basically, or you're going to help develop them. But I'm telling you that it takes a whole lot more time and energy to develop somebody like that into a runner or into a leader than it does from the very beginning, getting the mindset and being able to look at a crowd of people and pick up on the ones that will be your runners, that do have what it takes to be a runner and to be a leader. Your leaders are typically, or your runners are typically if you're thinking about, they kind of have an owner mentality. They kind of have like the boss mentality. But in this business, keep in mind that you cannot have a managerial personality. You just have to have that, go-getter kind of attitude. The other type of people, the ones that are probably not going to take off running, typically have like an employee mentality. They have the mentality that, okay, sign me up, and when do I get my first check? They have that kind of, okay, if I put this much time into it, how much money am I going to make? Whereas your runner type people, your business owner type people, they understand that in order to create something amazing and residual income, that you do have to dedicate some time and some energy and some efforts up front. They're not expecting to join the company today and receive their first paycheck tomorrow. They know, just because of the way that they're wired, they understand that in a business you put effort forth, you build your business and you grow it, and the income grows later on, and it far surpasses anything that you would get as an employee mentality. So a business owner, your runner owner is going to have some different mentality type things too. They are going to have a high self-worth. Now, let me say, when you're talking to somebody, typically, if you're talking to someone about the business, normally when you talk to them and if they tell you no, that they are not interested, you've got to remember that it's not usually that they're not interested in your business or they're not interested in you. It's usually because they don't believe in themselves. They don't think that they can do what you're doing. Typically, that is the situation. But when you're talking to a runner type person, they already have that self-worth. They already believe in themselves, and their mentality when you present an opportunity to them is more of like, hey, I've been really successful in this area of my life. I bet I can turn that into a very successful area also. That is your runner leader type personality. The other thing is they do not base their opinion off of facts. So meaning that, the leader type people do base their opinions off of facts, the other ones do not. So typically if you present the opportunity to somebody that is not a runner, they're going to think, this sounds too good to be true. And how many times have you heard somebody say, what's the catch? Or this opportunity sounds good to be true. Typically if you hear that, they are not your leader type personality, because a leader has the mentality that they're going to gather all the facts. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to be, you can tell by the way that they're talking to you that they're really considering the opportunity. They're really thinking about it. And they understand that with the right facts, the right information, and the information that they need to gather, that it is a viable source of income and it is a viable business opportunity. So you can kind of tell when talking to somebody how they base their answers. Are they asking you questions? Are they digging? Or are they just listening and then making the assumption that, no, I can't do it, or no, that's probably, this is a scam. If you hear this is a scam, those are the kind of people that can't kind of put the pieces of a puzzle together and realize that what we have to offer is incredible. What else? They understand that it takes risk, that if you're talking to somebody and they are that complaining type, or they are that negative energy kind of person that when you're around, you just feel pulled down yourself. The reason that you got to remember that everybody is where they are in life, typically because of the decisions that they made up until this point. So if they are unhappy, if they are unemployed, if they are not already successful at something in their life, you've got to know that there is something based off the choices that they make that have gotten them to that position. So a type A or a runner or your A-team kind of person, they understand that with risks, with opportunities comes gain, comes wins. So the other type of person does not understand that. They think, oh, that's too hard, or oh, I don't want to put forth the effort to get to that. And they're typically the ones that when you do get them in your business, they may or may not spend the first few weeks or first few months, kind of putting forth some energy, but then they quickly get discouraged because they're not seeing the fruits of their efforts. They need you to cheer them along every single day because they don't understand that you have to take risks. You have to get uncomfortable. There's a fly or a bee or something circling around me. You have to get out of that comfort zone. And, growth does not come in comfort zones. You have to get past your comfort zones. So the ones that are willing to do things that make them uncomfortable, the ones when you give them a challenge and they run with it, or they ask you, if they come to you, what can I do differently? What have you done that's been successful? And even if it's uncomfortable to them, they still do it. The ones that you give tips to and they listen, they may even sound like, yeah, that sounds good, or thanks for the information, but they never apply it. Those are not your runners. They're not your, go-getter kind of people. They're too scared. They live in their comfort zone. And unfortunately, with an entrepreneur kind of mindset, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable, expand your knowledge, expand your efforts. And when you can do that, that's where growth comes from. And when you cannot let a couple weeks or a couple months get you down because you're not seeing immediate results, that's where true leaders come from. True entrepreneurs come from the ones that hit the ground running and they continue to run and they don't press the brakes until they get to their destination. They don't get distracted in the meantime. Um, they don't need somebody reminding them that if you just work this hard for this amount of time, you're going to get this reward. They already know that life comes with effort and risk. And when they apply that consistent effort and risk, they're going to have a huge gain. Um, what else? I want to explain the difference in, sometimes you, especially when you first start out your business, the people that you automatically think of that, hey, they would be really great at this business, or this would be an awesome opportunity for this person, they're usually the people that are not your type A's. They're not your runners. They're not your A team kind of personality. They are usually the ones that are out of work, or they are struggling financially, or they are complaining about they don't want to work, they don't want to get up for work today, or, is it almost Friday? Those kind of people are the ones that we're automatically drawn to contact because we see a need. They're expressing the need. The ones that I'm encouraging you to reach out to are the ones that would be on your chicken list. They're the people that you're almost intimidated to approach about it because you think they don't need this. Like, they are, a CEO at this big firm, or, they're doing very well financially, or they have been with this company for X amount of years, or they're so busy they couldn't possibly squeeze in another thing. Those are the exact people that you need to talk to. Those are your runner people. So, I want to go back. So whenever you first start the business, you do think about the people that are out of work or they need money. You see the ones that are looking for a business opportunity because they're broke. But let me explain to you that there is a difference in being broke and being poor. Broke and poor are two different things. They mean two different things. And somebody that is broke, they don't have any money because they're broke. That's a temporary thing. It means that they've, encountered some type of hardship that has put them, down for a little bit, where they're struggling financially. But if they are a runner type person, they're going to be clever enough to have the mindset of solving that problem. They're going to find a way to make money somehow. They're going to, sell some unused things in their home. They are going to be, researching opportunities. Those are the people that are broke. They're going to recover from it. Now, the opposite is poor. Someone that is poor, that is it's a state of mind. It's the fact that I don't have what I need, and it's just bad luck. It's just nothing's coming to me. Those are the people that have limited belief. They're the ones that when you approach them about the opportunity, they will say it sounds too good to be true, or there's no way that this could actually work, or do people actually make money here? And unfortunately, when you have that mentality and you're not willing to open up and learn and dig, you miss out on so much. So, basically the U.S., there's some things to be said about other countries, but in the U.S., there is not a lack of opportunity. There are so many different opportunities and so many different ways to make an income, whether it's through network marketing, or it's through going to get employed, or it's doing some side jobs, mowing some yards, or there's just so many opportunities to make an income. So basically, there cannot be an excuse that overpowers that. So basically, you're either broke or you're poor if money is an issue. So when you get that money excuse, I would really be thinking about, is it because they don't want to think outside of the box? Is it because their mentality is limited to just regular corporate America and they don't have that entrepreneur personality? Or is it because they have gone through a hardship recently and they need an outlet? They need somebody to show them an opportunity that works, and they're willing to hear it and listen. You want the people, if they're struggling financially and you get that money excuse, you want the ones that are broke, the ones that it's a temporary problem and they're looking for a solution. You do not want the ones that are poor and like, I'm waiting for, I can't pay this $99. All my paycheck has gone to this, and they're not looking for an outlet. They're not looking for a way to improve things and make them better. Those are typically not going to be your runner people because they don't think outside of the box. They're not willing to push hard to get beyond their boundaries. I do want to also say for the other spectrum of people that are your type A's, um, that um, are making good money, that they do look financially secure, and you think they don't need this opportunity, like they're doing awesome. They're managing XYZ company, or they just opened up this company that is like, it's going amazing. They stay busy and they're involved, and they love their job, things like that. But let me tell you that when income increases, so if they're doing really well at their job and income is increasing, typically what that means is their time is decreasing. So what I mean is that in order to make this amount of money that they're happy with, that also means that they're going to have to invest this amount of time continuously. What we have is residual income. And so the advantage to residual income to somebody like that is that you've got to approach it in a way that we build our businesses off of the mentality that we work hard up front. We get our businesses established. We add people to our team. We train them. We invest in them. We care about our team. We don't just sign people and leave them. And with that effort comes residual income, meaning that once you get higher up into the ranks in this company and you've built your good customer base and you continue to do your steps of success every single month, it doesn't mean, like, your income will continue to increase and your time does not have to continue to increase devoted to it. Your time sometimes can actually decrease. You can take, a weekend off or something. You can breathe a little bit. It doesn't mean to make more money you have to invest more time. It means that you're committed to being continuously working your business. You do not have to, if you want to make 1,000 more a month, that doesn't mean you have to invest X amount of more hours a month. Whereas in corporate America or owning a typical brick and mortar business, a lot of times you talk to a business owner of a brick and mortar business and they will tell you that they're basically married to their business, because in order to make it successful, they are living there. They're spending every waking moment there and building that. That is not true with network marketing. Here we have an opportunity for residual income. We get to work our businesses continuously, be committed to being consistent, and that income continues to increase and grow. And that is a huge advantage to somebody that you think is doing really well financially, but I bet you their time is zero because they're married to their job. They're married to their business. And that is huge, to give people a life back. We have an opportunity to give somebody time. You cannot buy time. And we have that ability to give that to somebody's life. And also keep in mind that as somebody's income increases, so does their, so does their lifestyle. That's a good way to put it. As they're making more money, typically they're spending more money. And even though they may be making more money than the average person, they are probably also still living somewhat paycheck to paycheck or every couple paychecks. Because as they make more money, they spend more money. And that's just our human tendency. So don't think that just because they're making a lot of money, they couldn't use some type of residual income either on the side or to begin replacing their full-time income. So again, a runner, the reason why we want runners on our team. I can guarantee if you have signed anybody in this business, if you have added a distributor to your team, you know the ones that are self-starters and the ones that are not. You know the ones that start the business and they start on their training. They ask you questions versus the ones that you have to check in with multiple times a day. How's it going? What questions do you have? How can I help you? And you know that the ones that take off and they actually come to you with questions, you're not having to go to them with questions. You know that they're your leaders. They're your runners. They are the ones that will take their businesses, and they will bring so much more energy into your business because people are drawn to them. They already have that entrepreneur, successful mindset, and so they will be successful in recruiting because people look at them as a leader and they trust them as a leader. What else? You know the ones that you sign and they need you to hold their hand. They need you to cheerlead with them. They need you to point them in the right directions. They need you to show them the different resources and the different options available versus coming to you and asking. There is no shame in messaging your enroller over and over again. We love that. But there are also, so you know as you're signing people, the ones that need more hand-holding are going to take more energy, and sometimes they take off and sometimes they don't. It's all about whether they decide to take off. They don't, and type A, a leader does not need pumping up. They can work independently. What else? They, like I said, they will call you and they will attract people into their business. They will be able to grow a business because they do have that self-starter attitude. They've maybe been successful in some area of their life. So I'm going to give you a couple scripts that I want you to use. And after this message, after this video, I'm going to give you a challenge. And what that challenge is to think about your chicken list. Think about that one person that you maybe have thought they would be incredible. They have a huge network already. They are good presenters. They have an entrepreneur personality. People enjoy being around them. They kind of have a circle of people wherever they go. They meet friends easily. Think about that person. And it doesn't matter if they are, if you think they're already financially secure, or if you think that they would never be interested in this. Those are the people that we call the names on our chicken list. We're too chicken to reach out to them because we think they already have it all together, but we know that they would be amazing if they ever gave this opportunity a chance. So get that person in your mind, and I'm going to walk you through some scripts, and I'll be reading it from my paper here, about what to say to those people, because it can be intimidating to reach out to somebody that you feel like is just going to close the door right in your face. That's scary. But let me tell you this. The worst that can happen is they tell you no. That's the worst that can happen. And if they tell you no, that means they don't want to be in your business. And guess what's happening right this minute? They aren't in your business. So by asking them and them telling you no, you have not lost anything, but you're opening the door to an opportunity of huge advantage for your business. To sign somebody that is a runner can do amazing things for your business. So I'm going to give you a script of, some other professional development leaders have shared with me about the way to effectively approach somebody with that type of personality, because it is a little bit different than approaching someone that is looking for an opportunity. And this, again, is not geared towards sending to everybody that you think would be a potential distributor. This is for the people that that you see them as a runner, that they're already successful. They're not looking for an opportunity. They may be so busy that you think they couldn't squeeze in another thing. It's those people, because they probably have never been approached by something like this. And like I said, the worst they can say is no, and you're still in the same exact spot you are today. The best that they can say is yes, give me more information, and just think about the gain for your business. Just think about the growth for your business. If you could just sign a bunch of those type of people, rather than signing hundreds of people that may or may not take off, may or may not want it as bad as you do. Think about if you sign the people that are ready to run just like you, if they had a vision just like you, and they knew that they're not just signing up and waiting for their first paycheck to come that first month. Instead, they're signing up and they're realizing that I've got to work a business. And I know as an entrepreneur that you don't sign a business and make a huge profit your first month, 2 months, 3 months. That they know that it takes energy, and it takes effort, and it takes consistency, and it takes reaching to your leaders and getting opinions and advice. Those are the kind of people I want to work with. Those are the kind of people that are going to grow our business. Those are the kind of people that you don't have to build every single step of your business. You add them to your business and you guys grow together. So get that person in your head, and I'm going to share with you a couple scripts. If this is somebody that you do have a fear of reaching out to, you are scared that they are going to slam that door right in your face, they are going to say no way. If you have a fear, start out your message addressing the fear. Go ahead and get it out there. Let them know that you have a fear. And so here's a script for that. Hey, whatever their name is, always address them by their name. There's a reason for my message, and you're going to think that it's crazy. It's funny, but I've been thinking about messaging you for a while, but I've actually been too afraid to. Go ahead and get that fear out there. Let them know that you've been thinking about them, but you haven't because you've been afraid. You've been scared to reach out to them. If you get that out there, if you be vulnerable to them, you let them know that you're kind of timid about approaching them, they're going to be more receptive to what you have to say. So just put it out there, address the fear, let it be known that you're uncomfortable with reaching out, but you really felt passionate about reaching them. After that, pay them a compliment. So you might say something like, hey, again, their name. This is if you have the fear, start out with the fear statement. If you do not have the fear, jump straight into this. The reason I'm messaging you is because I want you to know how much that I respect you, and I admire the fact that you've been so successful in your own life. I aspire to build something of that same level in my own career. So do you see how that would really pump somebody up and make them immediately drawn to what you have to say? Just pay them a compliment, because not every day does somebody message you and give you something like that. Just let them know, like, hey, I'm messaging you because I've seen your success and I want that same kind of success in my business. And then what you're going to do is ask for their opinion. Ask for their opinion. Leaders want to share their opinion. And you're going to say, I've got an opportunity that I came across and I would really love it to get your opinion. And like I said, I respect you and I'd love to see what you think. Remember, always start these statements, if I send you some information, would you take a look at it and let me know what you think? So you're not asking if they're interested. You're not making them give you a commitment right now of, do you want to join my business? Instead, you're like, hey, I've been thinking about you. I've been meaning to message you. I've been a little bit scared. Pay them a compliment. Like, I've seen your success in your business and I want that same level of success in my business. And, I'm growing my new business. And, like I said, I really, really value what you've done in your own success. And I just wondered, if I sent you some information about this opportunity that I'm doing, would you take a look at it? And if you're talking to a leader, they're going to want to give you an opinion. They would be happy to hear this compliment that you're paying them. And usually they will say, sure, send it over. So let me also tell you, though, if they come back and, after you've sent them the information or something, or even before, and they come back and they say that it's not for them, like, thank you for sharing this, but, really this is not for me. That's okay. And guys, that is not when you close the door. That's a whole new door that's opening. When they say no, it's not for them, guys, not everybody you talk to is going to sign with you right now. And if you haven't figured that out yet, you're going to really quickly. So it's all a matter of timing. When you approach that person and it's the right time. And if timing is not right with this person, that's okay. Move on and get some advantage out of it still. And so what I would say is that's totally fine. I know that you know a lot of people. If they're a leader, they typically have a big network of people. I know that you know a lot of people. Is there anybody that comes to mind that you think might be interested? And use them as a resource opportunity. Now, if you ask this question to somebody that is not your runner type person, they are not your entrepreneur type person, they don't have a big network, they are not going to give you a referral. They're not, because they're not used to that kind of relationship of giving referrals. And two, they just don't think outside of the box that way. They can't think of who I would refer. Nobody comes to mind, literally. But if you're asking a runner type person, a type A personality, people will come to mind, and they are used to giving referrals for different professional type things. They have built businesses off of referrals. So they're used to that kind of conversation and that request. So ask them, like, if it's not, that's fine if it's not for you. I totally understand, and I can, appreciate that. But if it's not for you, I know you know a lot of people. Is there anybody that you can think of that this would be a good opportunity for, that I could speak with? And they may give you a name or two. They may give you several names, and you better make sure that you're following up with those people. You're doing your part. Now, here's the beauty, though. Because that leader type person, that person that everyone's attracted to already, they already have that value that they've established. Because when you go to those referrals and you say, hey, Susie gave me your information and thought this would be incredible for you. Could I send you some more information about what I do? Or, whatever your pitch is. Because you've tied that name to it already, they may not know you, but they know Susie. And because you've tied that name, you've already given your conversation and your opportunity some value, some credit, because you've tied the association with that person that they already respect. So, again, your challenge, get that person in your mind. Who is that person that is on your chicken list that you are thinking of right now? There's somebody on your mind that you think would be incredible, but you don't think they need the opportunity. You don't think that they would listen to what you have to say. But if you could get in front of them with some information, it could be powerful for your business. Who is that person? Is it a public figure? Is it a leader at your church? Is it a very successful entrepreneur in your community? Think of that one person, and I want you to send them these messages. I want you to just take 5 seconds of courage, open up Messenger, type out your message, and send it. And again, if you are scared, start with that fear, little script that I shared, and then pay them a compliment and then ask for their opinion. That's it. That's simple. The worst that can happen is they say no. They could say no and give you a referral, and they could say yes. And can you imagine what one runner on your team would do for you? If you were no longer pulling all of the weight for your team, if you no longer had the pressure on you that you are signing every customer and you are signing every distributor, but instead you have a team of rock star, solid leader entrepreneurs on your team. So take a minute right now, whatever you're doing, get that person in your head and take a minute, open up Messenger, type up your message, and hit the send button. You guys can do this. If you have any questions, let me know, but I am so excited to see you guys getting out of your comfort zone. And again, like I said, that type A person is the person that will get out of their comfort zone. The ones that are not ready to run are the ones that are going to look at this video and they're going to resort back to their comfort zone and they're going to say, no way am I doing that. But guys, do it. Do it. Push yourself, because even the ones that are sleeping, even the ones on our team that are walking, if they'll just change their mentality and take some advice and put forth some effort and be consistent in that, they can totally turn into a runner too. So don't give up on your team. And guys, take this into your own hands. Become the entrepreneur that you need to go all the way up to ambassador with It Works, because I know that you guys can do it if you truly want it. Everyone has the ability. Not everybody has the courage.